Welcome to Brighton, the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. We have arrived at another camping adventure. It's the second weekend of June. We're gonna be here for the next 4 days, including today. Lots of stuff to do, lots of things to explore. So yeah, gonna be another fun trip. We ended up arriving about an hour and 15 minutes early to the campground. And this isn't one of those places where they'll let me take the site early if it's ready. So I think we're just gonna explore some of the trails in the state park and get a little walk in. And then right at 2 o'clock, we'll head to the reg booth, we'll get our pass and we'll start setting up. So let's go for a walk. All right, so as mentioned earlier, this is Brighton State Park in Brighton, Vermont. Why not start with a little campground tour since we're here early and there's not a lot of people around. It is a Wednesday and the past few days have been pretty crappy, so got a nice empty campground to show you. Yeah, there's some cabins here. I think you can rent these out for like 60 bucks a night if you're a resident. And then there's my car and my boat. That'll be the resting place until I can take my site. And over here is the campers beach. This will probably be the hangout spot once people start filtering in here. The weather is going to thankfully be quite good while I'm here. We had 3 of the past 4 days were rain and or cold, but today's actually going quite well. Or today, tomorrow, and Friday are supposed to be pretty nice. That's what the beach looks like. Pretty nice view from the water. Nice small pond here. I brought both my inflatable and the aluminum boat this time, and I'm gonna put the inflatable in here and leave it at the site. And then we've got other bigger and better. We've got other fishing holes that I want to try out with the aluminum boat tomorrow morning and Friday morning. We do have a waterfront site too, which is again pretty cool. There's canoe rentals, kayak rentals, boat rentals here. That is one of the trails, but I think what we'll do is we'll continue touring the campground and then go back to the main area and go take a look at the map real quick so I know where I'm going. All right, it's a nature trail there. And we'll go down here. I think my campsite is down this way. Another cabin there, that one's occupied. There's site 15. These are all really nice waterfront sites. Thankfully one of them was available when I went to book this trip, so we'll have a really, really nice place to stay for the next few nights. And we won't have the cold, rainy weather that we did last time. All right, site 17 right there. Another nice spot to put your kayak or canoe if you have one. There's the bathhouse. All right, site 18. Not sure I'm a fan of that one. Don't get the water, and unless you're renting both of these out, I kind of don't like that one. It's not very primitive. You don't have a ton of privacy, too close to the road, and you don't get a waterfront site. That one's pretty nice though. Renting those two out together would be would be a fun time if you got a slightly larger group. Site 21. That's site 20. And I believe this one right here is mine. Yep, T23. This one right here is where I'll be staying. Hopefully we have a nice flat spot to put the tent this time so I can sleep a little better. Yeah, it definitely looks better than the last one. Not bad. Right on the lake. And that is where the boat's gonna live. Not a bad view. This pond is small enough where I'm probably just gonna run the inflatable with the trolling motor in it. We got other places we're gonna be taking the motorboat. So yeah, that's the site for the weekend. Not bad. This is a dead end, so I'm not gonna bother walking really down here, but these are two other waterfront sites. That one over there is occupied. I'll let them have their peace and tranquility. And coming out of the loop, you've got the playground. Got some kids that want to use the swings. There's a pretty decent looking swing set right there. And your adults can come over here and play some horseshoes. Not sure why they have covers on the horseshoe things. I don't know. It's literally just a pin, but I guess they want to keep them clean. All right, more campsites up here. This is actually the larger part of the campground. We'll go up here just a little bit. I don't think I'm going to check out the entire thing. I do want to walk on the trails between now and when I check in. Want to make sure I've got enough time for that. Yep, this is where the lean-tos are. Nice primitive one there. Really nice primitive lean-to, actually. But all three of these are, by the looks of it. I mean, you got neighbors there, but you're basically looking down into the woods. Yeah, this is, you know, if I was staying in a place that didn't have a lake, this would absolutely be a site that I would choose. You just got your own view of the woods. This is very reminiscent of the site that I had at Waterbury last fall. Yep, I like that. Yeah, wow, they get the good bathhouse. Volleyball net. Looks like there's something for everyone here. I've seen hiking trails. I've seen, or more like nature walk trails, hiking trails, kayaking, canoeing, fishing, boating, swimming, playground for the kids, places for the adults to camp and party and hang out. Yeah, this is definitely a newer bathhouse. Definitely a nicer one. Looks like this whole loop is lean-tos, I'm guessing. Yeah, let's take a look at the map. All right, so it goes all the way down here. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother walking all the way down there. But we'll check out this little loop here. We'll kind of go down here. We'll check out these lean-tos, but I'm not gonna go all the way up there. See if any of them have a nice waterfront access. Because I'm willing to bet with the laundry list of stuff that I want to do in the Northeast Kingdom and the fact that I'm only gonna be here for a few days, I'm definitely gonna end up staying here again. So it'd be nice to see if any of these sites have waterfront access. These people brought their pets. Yeah, I think doesn't look like these are quite on the water. Yeah, I'm willing to bet the ones at the north end of the campground are on the water. Maybe I'll head over there later at some point. Maybe when I get my ElliptiGO out, I'll loop over there and go check it out. All right, there's everybody's favorite trash and recycling station, with a warning that bears couldn't show up to the to the dumpsters, which is not a surprise. And there's your registration building with the nature center, museum, signs, directions. All right, the trail map. All right, the Boreal Forest Trail, and then the one where our boat was. While we're here, we'll check out the Boreal Forest Trail. Yeah, we're right here, so let's just walk up here and check out some of this. Looks like a short little nature walk that might be maybe a half-mile long by the looks of it. Oh, looks like that's where we could buy firewood. I'm definitely gonna need some of that. Not sure what that little house is all about. This definitely has like a nature walk kind of feel to it. It's a very well-maintained trail. Changing climate. Some information about the climate here in the Northeast Kingdom. Cold winters, somewhat mild summers. Springs can be hit miss. This one happened to be extremely cold and rainy. And coyotes and bobcats. Cool. More information about the lakes and wetlands. Spectacle Pond, that is the pond we're going to be staying on. And loons, yeah, we've been seeing our fair share of those already this year. Information about the soil and the plants. I'm not going to bother stopping at all these. But if you really are interested in what they say, I'll let you come do it for yourself. This video is just here to share my experiences on these trips, not really make up for an experience that someone else would have. So just kind of want to put that little PSA out there. Looks like somebody's residence over there. A really nice log cabin, house style property. Yeah, it's definitely a nice little nature walk. Good way to pass the time that we are waiting for our campsite to be opened up. You respect the fact that they have a 2 o'clock check-in time, and whether you like it or not. Just some places they'll let you take the site early, others they won't. Okay, well, that's the end of the Boreal Forest Trail. Nice little nature walk. Bring your family, bring your kids. Go enjoy nature. Okay, the shore trail looks a little bit more like a hiking trail. But we're going to be doing some actual hiking tomorrow and or Friday. So for now, just kind of exploring the state park while we're waiting for the site to open up. Oh, cool little spot here. Yeah, definitely a nice view. I can't wait to get on the boat and do some fishing later today. At least we'll see where this goes. I think it just loops up and around that way. Yeah, some pretty nice spots here. I guess they call this the Loggers Loop for a reason. It's all forest, all of it. Lots of pine trees. This is where you would find hardwood and mushrooms on your Stardew Valley farm. Gotta watch out for some of this poison ivy. Might want to check our legs when we get back for ticks. Oh, well, that was the Loggers Loop. It took maybe 2 minutes to walk. Short trail, main trail, short trail at Eagle Point. Yeah, I guess we could look at this. I don't mind exploring these trails for the next 20 minutes or so until the site opens up. Yep, little view of the beach right there. I think that might be Bluff Mountain over there. That is a hike I am thinking on doing while I am here, is Bluff Mountain, and I think that's it in the distance. Yeah, we'll check out this Eagle Point spot, and then I think we're gonna head back. Another nice view of the beach, even better view of the beach actually. Got a nice breeze in our face. And I'm guessing this is Eagle Point, somewhere over here. Either that or it's up here. I don't know, we'll stay along the shore. Chief, this has to be it. Look at that. Foundation before you was once owned by Chief War Eagle, father of champion wrestler Don Eagle. The family lived here in the 40s. They sold the land to the state of Vermont in the 1950s. and left it here for us to enjoy. And as you can see, this is that foundation, the remains of that foundation. So they actually had a house like right here. Wow, yeah, really, really nice spot too. I imagine they found it quite enjoyable, and when they couldn't use it any longer, they passed it on to the general public. So I, being part of the general public, definitely appreciate that. And oh my goodness, yep. There's small stairs down here with a really nice beach spot here. Nice waterfront view. Oh, that's cool. I love Vermont. That's cool. There's the rest of the pond. So actually it loops around a little bit that way, but you're seeing the majority of the lake right now. So yeah, we'll definitely keep the inflatable in here. I'm getting pretty hungry and I still need to ride my ElliptiGO, so I think I'm going to just take off for a short spin on the ElliptiGO, go into Brighton and maybe either Ferdinand or Norton, whichever way I feel like heading, and then come back and cook an early dinner, get the tent set up, get the inflatable boat set up, go fishing for the rest of the night. So yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, these are waterfront. What is this, Site 57, I think? Yeah, these are waterfront. Oh, they have a loon area too. Huh? All right, that's pretty cool.